I'm now at a very busy Tromsø airport and heading to Bergen. So the plane is here, we just need to board. The weather seems really nice this morning, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to get some really nice shots out of the window, fingers crossed. Welcome to Bergen. Welcome to Bergen, the second stop on my Norwegian trip. Now, the scenery on that flight was just something else. It was so beautiful, flying over the mountains all the way down the west coast of Norway. And I hope you managed to see some of it too. I just thought, why not do a little walk, talk and learn while I'm waiting on my bag? And there is a sign here. In fact, there's adverts all over the place for pizzabakeren, so some kind of pizza shop. And the advert says tomt I kjøleskapet. So tomt means empty, I kjøleskapet, in the fridge. And the suggestion is ta med deg pizza hjem. So take with you pizza home. So take some pizza home if you've got an empty fridge. You've just arrived back from a holiday and your fridge is empty. Now, when I first saw this, I was a little confused. I thought tomt was empty, but then I also had this feeling that tomt had something to do with Santa Claus, with Father Christmas. But then I checked it and I realised that tomten is indeed the word for Father Christmas, for Santa Claus in Swedish, but in Norwegian it's julenissen. So this is definitely just about having an empty fridge. And I can just see my bag over there, so I'm going to get it now. It's lovely to be back in Bergen, and having been in Tromsø where the weather, well, the temperature was about -5 this morning when I left, it feels much milder here. It's about 3 degrees, but I'm too hot to put my jacket on. When I come to Bergen, the first place I always try to go to is up Fløyen, which is a hill behind the city, and you take a funicular railway to get up there. And I think it looks like there's going to be a nice sunset tonight, so I thought that's the perfect place to start my visit.
Hei.
Kan jeg få en tur og retur? Takk.
Tur og retur? 140. Sånn.
Tusen takk. Ha det. It's always nice to be able to use your language skills in a practical way. One of the great things about being in a touristy place is that there are lots of tourists from lots of different places, so you get the opportunity to listen in on other people's conversations, only in an appropriate way, of course. But I was in the funicular there, and I was sitting next to a group of Spanish people, and they were having a chat. I didn't want to interrupt. Sometimes it's okay not to interrupt and practice your language skills. Sometimes it's enough to listen. And they reminded me of a word that I'd completely forgotten about. I'm not sure if you can see the Ferris wheel down in the Christmas market there. And as the funicular continued its journey up and we began to see the Christmas market, they shouted, "Ah, la noria, la noria." And that reminded me of the word for Ferris wheel in Spain Spanish, at least. I think it's used in certain Latin American countries. But la noria is a Ferris wheel, una rueda gigante, a giant wheel. So a little bit of eavesdropping can always be useful. I love this. I have now learned how to say meh in Norwegian. It's meh. Vi får alle maten vi trenger I naturen, så ikke mat oss det grei. Now there's a translation, but I like working it out too. So we get alle maten vi trenger, all the food we need I naturen, in the nature. So ikke mat oss, so do not feed us det grei. Det grei is just a way of saying thank you. It's time for what looks like a very strong coffee break. It is. And a canelbra. I kveld var jeg på konsert I Grieghallen. I was at a Christmas concert in Grieghallen tonight, Bergen's famous concert hall, and it was a concert by the Oslo Gospel Choir with Marte Wang. Now, Marte Wang is one of my favourite singers, and her song Til deg is one of my favourite all-time songs. She sang it tonight, and it was beautiful. And the concert finished with the whole audience joining in, singing Deilig jorden. And Deilig jorden is probably one of the most well-known Scandinavian Christmas carols, and it was very nice. Definitely a little julestemning tonight. And it just so happens that in order to get back to where I'm staying, I'm going to have to walk through the Christmas market here in Bergen. So perhaps it's time to try Bergen's Gløgg and give it the Gløgg test. Hei, kan du forklare hva kransekaker?
Kransekake en mandelkake som laget av mandler, eggehvite og melis.
Og det typisk for jul?
Typisk I jula, 17. mai, brukes I store bryllup, bursdager og ja. Og mest mye til jul.
Tusen takk. It's time to taste the Bergen Gløgg. Now this is Vestlandsk Gløgg, so it's from Vestland, which is the whole part of Norway that we're in just now. And it's made from bringebær, which are raspberries, prumme, plums, and kirsebær, which are cherries. So as ever, we've got to taste this, we've got to smell it, and we've got to give it the coast factor. So first of all, the smell, the aroma. Oh, I can definitely smell the berries. Yeah, definitely, that's lovely. I think a 4 out of 5 for that one. Let's do the taste test now. Oh, that's very nice. I forgot to mention also it's got gin in it. So let's do the taste test. Yeah, that's a 5 out of 5, definitely. And the coast factor, well, I think the coast factor is a 5 already, because look at the nice mug that you get with it. This is yours to keep. I mean, you've paid for it, but it's a nice souvenir to take away. So that's definitely getting a 5. So that's 4 for aroma, 5 for taste, and 5 for coast factor. 14 out of 15 for Bergen Gløgg. Skål!